All right. On today's 30-minute mechanic, we're not going to work on the red car. We're not going to work on the green car. We're going to work on the E4OD. Got a little side project going with it for my son's 69 Galaxy. So buckle up. Let's go. All right, what we got here is your run-of-the-mill E4OD transmission. And if you don't know, an E4OD is very similar to a C6, Ford C6, kind of size-wise and power-wise, but it's an overdrive transmission, lockup converter, all that stuff. This particular one was in our yellow Nanner truck for a while, and it worked fine. It was great. It shifted and did all the shifty things. We have a Ballman controller, and we're going to put this transmission in our 69, or my son's 69 Galaxy, because it has real low rear end gear. So we wanted to overdrive and have a Ballman controller for it. But the Ballman needs a speed signal in order to determine mile per hour and all that stuff and shift at the right time. Now, I measured and I came up with a part with my 3D printer, test fit this. It fit great. It slides on the output shaft here. Okay, back up. This particular model of E4OD is from a 96 F250, and they took their speed signal off of the ring gear in the differential. Ring gear had a reluctor wheel on it, and it read the speed sensor off there. Earlier models actually had a speedo drive in here, and like in my F350, my truck, my 91, it has a regular speedo drive in there with the electronic deal. Now, if you look, this shaft doesn't have that provision. It's just a smooth surface right there. Now, previously, we've taken our housing here. I can turn this over, and we drilled a hole in our housing. So we got a hole in our housing right there for a, we're going to put a cherry sensor, one of those red Hall effect sensors. It'll screw right in, tighten up, and then we'll figure out how to seal it somehow. I don't know, I'm not worried about that at the moment. Sealing up's the easy part. Got to get all the mechanical part figured out. One thing I did find out when I took this tail housing off was this transmission had always had a funny tinking noise when you were slowing down. Like you'd be driving, and you let off the gas, and you hear this kind of ratcheting kink, 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 kink noise. Well, it was missing the parking pawl return spring. So the parking pawl, I don't know if you can see, maybe if I hit the light, boop, you can see marks on the parking pawl gear here. Right there, and there. The parking pawl was actually bouncing off of the parking gear. So I can't believe it never did lock in and just shut us down or tear something up. But anyways, that's totally the noise it was making. Dinky dinky dink, because that thing was banging into it. But I got a spring, ordered a spring. It came in. Like to never found one. Had a buddy finally tell me where I could get one. So I got a spring for that. Now, like I said, we 3D printed one, and I really thought maybe I could come up with a design, different from this with my 3D printer, that I could print one out of, maybe nylon or something, or ABS, that I could stick in there and it would be fine. But I just couldn't overcome my fear. So I sent the design off to find one of these right side up, send, and had 3 of them cut, laser cut out of 3/8 steel. So basically had the exact same part made out of steel. Now today, what we're going to do is we're going to mount this reluctor to the output shaft of that transmission. Oh, I know, another question that's probably going to come up. Hey, you drilled a hole in your transmission. Why'd you drill a hole in it? There's already a hole for the speedo drive in there that's plugged. When I was mocking this up, the reason is when I was mocking this up, speedo drive hole is up here and it's not on center with the reluctor. It's above wherever. It's not on center with the output shaft. So it's above. So you'd have to put the sensor in at a really weird angle. And if I just dropped down and drilled a hole straight in, I could point the sensor directly at the center line of the output shaft and at my reluctor wheel. So that's why I drilled my own hole in there. Okay, let's get busy with the. Well, what we're going to do first is we're going to drill this guy for a set screw. I really wanted these to be sized where I could heat them up and slide them on. They'd be a press fit, an interference fit. They came out a little big. I underestimated the tolerance, or overestimated the tolerance ability of the laser cutting. So they came out just a skosh bigger than I wanted, but that's fine. We're going to drill and tap and see if we can put a set screw in there and then come up with a way to keep the set screw positioned on the output shaft. All right, here we are at the messy part of the shop. It's kind of dark back here too sometimes. All right, we're going to tap this to a 1032 size, and the pilot hole for a 1032 is a number 20 or a 5/32 number 20 drill bit, which I have right here in my hand. And so we're going to chuck this up. Maybe if I can turn the chuck the proper direction. Come on. My trusty old drill press here. I've had this for probably, gosh, I've had this for close to 20 years. Okay, we got a gear here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make me a center punch. I'm going to punch it real quick, so I'll be right back. All right, I got us a little center punch mark. I didn't want to hit it too hard because I didn't want to knock it out around. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick this little guy in my vise. And we're going to line up that tooth is out there. I need to rotate it just a skosh. Come on. Trying to get that's probably about right. Okay, we're going to drill us a hole down through there and then we'll stick it over in the vise and see if we can tap it. Okay, bingo boingo. There's a hole. All right, let's see if we can tap this dude. Man, I kind of did good on that. Put that in the vise. Clamp it. Let's go get our tap. All right, 1032 tap. And I'm going to put my glasses on. Just going to see if we can get this tap started. Now, I had Syncuts in. They cut this out of mild 3/8 steel. So it's not anything special. I mean, literally, I just need something in there for the Hall effect sender to read. And I thought about using, like I said, I thought about 3D printing one and putting little set screws in it for the sender to read off of. But then I was afraid that they would loosen up. Uh-oh, come on. I was afraid they'd loosen up and come out after a while. And I don't really need that. Don't really need set screws floating around in my transmission. Call me nutty, but nope. Don't need that. I probably should be putting some oil in this. And look at that. I got a little bucket right there. I have no idea what this bucket of. Looks like used oil, but hey, whatever. Yep, that's better. Tap this guy out. And we are good. Now I had Syncut Sand make 3 of these. Their parts get considerably cheaper the more you have made. So I went ahead and had 3 make. I went ahead and had them make 3. Gosh, I couldn't get that to come out of my mouth. And that way I had 3 chances to mess stuff up. I think that's pretty good right there. It screws right in. All the stuff cleaned off the tip. We'll give it a shot of brake clean, and I think we'll be done with this part. I don't know if you can see in there. Let's go. Whoop. My finger in there. Sometimes you got to put your hand behind these deals to get them to focus. There. Well, you can't see them because they got oil in them. But the threads came out pretty nice. Get everything cleaned up, and then we'll head over the transmission. All right, what we're going to do here is got my handy dandy angle grinder out. Get that out of the way. We're gonna hop up here on this, and we're just gonna put a little notch. I mean, just the smallest of notches. I don't figure it will reduce my structural integrity of the. If I can get my grinder in there, yeah, I just can. It won't hurt the shaft. I mean, if they have a speedo drive, they have a bunch of grooves cut right here. So here we go. We're just gonna put a little notch just for that set screw to have the set screw to something to lock into and seat. So here we go. Which way does this turn? I think we'll do it this way. Turn my grinder over so the sparks fly away from it, which means I'll probably be right in front of you. Okay, so literally what we did right there was just make a flat spot. Let me get you a little closer. We just made a flat spot for that set screw to seat. I don't know if that was totally necessary or whatever, but it makes me feel better. And that we barely touched the surface of that. So we got our reluctor wheel. And we have to tap it on there. It fit kind of snug. There it goes. But not as snug as I wanted it to. Then that goes. We're going to be centered right in this space here. And look, I brought the red Loctite. So we're going to red Loctite this puppy in place. I'll even give it a little squirt on the sides, who knows. Set screw. Oh, I dropped it. Oh, crap. There you go. It went under. It could have gone out into open space, but nope, it went under. Now we're going to put our set screw in. Lock that dude down as tight as we dare to get it. Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm going to grab my wrench and we can put that tail housing back on there. Okay, we're back. I still can't believe that this parking pawl never caught the gear. Gosh, that blows my mind. Okay, here's our output tail housing. Let's say output shaft housing, but that's not right. And it just slips on. Stick a bolt right there. And then maybe I can show you through the hole over here where the reluctor wheel is. And there's one down here. And there's another one right there. Where'd it go? Where's it at? Where's it at? Can't find the hole. And there's one more. Right over here somewhere. We'll go back and check these with a regular wrench. Because this little dude doesn't put out a lot of torque. Where did it go? Okay. Now this transmission has a Punisher valve body in it. And I haven't driven it. Well, let me back up. When we had it in the Nanner pickup, we put the Punisher valve body in it and it shifted great. And, you know, pretty solid shifts. This transmission was going to go in the green bean car. In fact, I had it installed in there. And I sent the valve body off to Punisher to Paul, and he put his hardest shifting setup in it. So the converter, we have a 3500 stall, I believe, converter in it, lockup converter. So I feel like this is going to be a pretty good fit for the Galaxy. Get that dude off the line and then be able to cruise down the road without just screaming the guts out of the motor. Because we do want to try to take it. It's kind of our plan for Rocky Mountain Race Week next year is to take the Galaxy. That's kind of the idea, I think. So we'd like to get this in there and all up and working functional all before then. So All right, let's see if we can peek in that hole and see our reluctor wheel. Now I'm seeing this for the first time, just like you. And it's a little off. Feels like it needs to go back just a little more. That's not what I was really hoping to see. I mean, it really doesn't matter because it's going to be reading tooth, no tooth. I think it'll be fine like that. I would rather it be back, you know, maybe a 16th to an 8th, maybe not even an 1/8 of an inch, just a little bit there. But I think that'll probably be good. All right, it's going to do it for 30-minute mechanic today. Didn't do much, but we did more than nothing. Play with our little reluctor wheel on our E4OD, see if we can start to get a speed sensor signal out of that thing for our Ballman shifter deal, so the transmission will shift and work when we finally installed it in the Galaxy. So check the description, check out my friends' channels. But for now, like, subscribe, ring the bell, tell your friends. We'll see you next time. Bye.